So this is basically the first episode of Ben's Business Q&A, and it'll be focusing on learning how to get more visibility and sales online for your business and for your website. I made the decision after speaking to Ben's Business Book Club, my Facebook group, which is a community of avid readers. A couple of questions just because I'm going to make this a podcast as well. Last week's one on Monday was more of a test episode, just to see what people thought, get some feedback in. I see people are joining on now, thanks for coming on. And what I was saying, it was just introducing what this is about, and I'll be doing a live every Monday, as some of you know. Hi Kristen, thanks for joining. It's good to see you here again. And after a couple of questions I received last week on the live Q&A, I've had to bring some over to this week because I think last week's one went to about 50 minutes. I'm going to keep it a wee bit shorter this time and bang out a couple of questions that I had from last week. And if there is time, I'll answer some questions at the end as well. Hopefully there is. So one of the first things was that I'm going to change the name as well from Q&A with Ben Lang or Search Engine Optimization. I'm going to change the focus of the name anyway and make it more sort of general business, because that was the types of questions I've been getting aren't just SEO, although the first one most people chose on the poll that they wanted more about SEO and from the speaker at the conference. But obviously that's my background is search engine optimization. Got over 10 years background in getting websites high on Google for clients. But I want to kind of make an open plan, because people like the book stuff. They like the general business stuff as well. So one of the first questions was, I've not got the names against these. I've been in a rush this for getting ready for this with the new setup and getting some lighting together. It was mainly the first thing was, how do you build up your first 5 clients? I'll read out the whole question out though. It's pretty interesting. So it says, I'm new to this world of SEO. I would like to learn as much as I can, but I would really be interested in how to advertise yourself or your services. So how do you build up your first 5 clients? And how do you get their trust? More importantly, I would like to know what kind of requests clients have. I know many of these things are not related, but yeah, they are now, because it's not just focused on search engine optimization. So it sounds like you're trying to be or help customers with their search engine optimization and doing that as a service. So to answer that question, I would say to get started on that, first you need the skills to rank. If you can rank your own website, do a couple of tests yourself, make sure that you actually have the skills to do that. If you're just learning, it might be a wee bit risky to take on a campaign for a client to do that for them. So it might be worth holding back and making sure. I'm just assuming, this is on an assumption, that you might need to develop your skills until you're more confident to make sure that you can take on a client account to start marketing their website on Google, and make sure you've got a background of results that you've got for yourself. So first thing I would do is definitely check and make sure that you've got those background results for yourself, maybe some friends, and get some a portfolio behind you of actual results, and take some screenshots of having websites on the first page of Google. That would be a great way to start, because it's very difficult to build any type of trust unless you've got background results in the past. So for example, if anyone in the UK searches online marketing consultant, they'll see that my website's on the first page. Hi Devin, so you're from Wilmington, NC. Where's everyone else from? I'm here in North Berwick, Scotland, which is just outside of Edinburgh, the capital of Scotland. I would definitely focus on the portfolio first. So do a lot of free work. That would definitely be one way to get started, is build up the portfolio, build up confidence, and build up confidence in your customers' confidence in you, and get them to talk about you. That's a really good way to start any business, is to do a good job for some people. I've always mentioned that I started my business charging quite low. I know that there's a lot of different strategies for that. That's what worked for me. I started off building websites at a really cheap price to get a portfolio, basically. That got me going, and then I could show people the work that I've done. That would be the first step, is build your portfolio of actual results and if you're doing web design, you could have some websites to display showing up on the first page of Google for those search terms that they want to show up for. And then you can create a video, get a customer to do a video testimonial for you and get that out. That would be the first step. Maybe second step to get more customers on top of that is build that all into your website. Make sure you have a website, social media channels, choose which channel your customers might be hanging out on, and obviously do search engine optimization for your own keywords so that you get your website, you get it on the first page of Google, and then you start getting traffic from there. And that should, with that background of portfolio and some results to show when they get to your website, so you can actually convince them that you're the right person to go for, then you can bring on more customers with those results. And the next one, again, I was talking about was social media. So get some social media channels and share blog posts through your website onto social media. You'll need to create accounts and things around the brand that you're creating, and use your website as your hub so that you're always sending your blog posts out. And every video that I create, I make sure I stick it on my website or a podcast. I make sure it all flows through my website, which is the hub of the content marketing system that I use. So the best way for me to create content and get it out on social media is to do videos, and then I upload those videos to YouTube. I upload them directly. Well, this is going to be uploaded directly to Facebook because I'm doing a Facebook live stream. This is something quite new I'm doing, obviously, but I've done this before on Periscope when Periscope first was more popular than Facebook Live. But now I'm just kind of switching over to Facebook Live to start doing this Q&A weekly on Monday, and that'll create content for me. I can take wee clips out of this video as well, because the last one was 50 minutes long. So I've got lots and lots of 1 minute clips I can stick on Instagram, and that creates unlimited content for you. Watch Gary Vee. He stands on stage and does a talk for, like, he does keynote speeches, so they can be an hour long, sometimes 2 hours long. So that's unlimited content he's got for the rest of his social media strategy. So you don't normally see too many repeats of his videos. He's sharing different videos. So there's some ways of two ways of growing your customers is get results, do a lot of undercut yourself is basically what I'm saying at the beginning, because that's what you mentioned, it's at the beginning and you're just kind of starting off, and then get your results out there, get them all onto a website, send traffic to your website through search engine optimization, and use social media to drive people back to your website and see your videos using your website and social media combined, and to get your content out there. So I hope that answers your question. I can't remember who I'm answering that to. Let me know if that helped. Send me a direct message if you want, or leave a comment on here. Hi Carlos, thanks for joining, and Vicky McGregor. Next question was, is it better to specialise in just one niche at the beginning or do different industries at the same time? So it depends. So it depends what kind of business it is. For me, at the beginning, I actually specialised in... Hi Ellie, thanks for joining. I specialised in doing search engine optimization. That was my thing. But what I realised, I kind of brought on products later down the line when I realised they work really well together. So I started offering websites after doing search engine optimization, because I realised it kind of cut me out of being able to do have the control of the website, for example. So I think focus on one product and service at the beginning if you're just starting out, and that's what you've said at the beginning, and focus on that one thing that you're really good at and something you can deliver great value with. And my service was search engine optimization, and I was able to take, for example, it was fiferoofing.co.uk, and we got them from like page 3 of Google up to page 1 on Google, and they started getting lots of sales from that, and that was the service I was offering. That was it. But then I realised that some people are asking me, they've not got a website, but they want to get on the first page of Google. So the first step of them was to get a website and then get it on the first page of Google. So it made sense for me to add on a web design service, and I had to basically self-teach myself that, although I was building websites. If you watched last week's, I told a story about how I helped my dad buy a property portfolio of £1.5 million worth of property through ranking websites high up on the search engines for property auctions, and I had to learn how to build websites that way. And it was all, again, most of it was self-taught, and I've been developing my skills as I've been going and building those websites for my dad and for friends of my dad. And then I started doing it for clients, and I realised that I had to up the skills of my actual website. So I brought on a web developer to do the websites for me. So that's one way you can do it, is if the product is really kind of benefits you and the customer to have it all in one, then it's a good idea to go into another niche. Because I would say search engine optimization is one niche and web design is one niche, but they're very they work really well together. So you can either collaborate with someone who has a really good, if you find someone you trust, that you can outsource any of the, like for example web design, I could have brought someone in to do that, but I brought someone on full time basically to do the websites for me, because I no longer build the websites myself, because I realised that wasn't my skill. My skill was meeting the customer, listening, taking notes of exactly what they wanted, and then giving them what they wanted. And I got good at basically outsourcing tasks to my web developer, so that he had a lot of details on what, like from the customer, I would have to listen and pass it on. So I got good at delegating tasks as well. And that's what I realised I was good at. I wasn't good at building websites by itself. I was better at getting the websites and focusing my time on meeting customers, making sales, and making sales for my customers. And that's what I realised. So I would say, find your one strength, focus on that at the start, and then if there's other products that can complement your other products and services, then do that as well. But I wouldn't recommend being in lots of different niches in one business. You're better to have one website for one niche and another website for another niche. So I do have a web design website, and I have a website called onlinemarketingconsultant.co.uk, and that focuses more on the search engine optimization, which I've done from the start. So that's one thing, but the web design kind of leads to me getting search engine optimization clients, so to do SEO for them. So if it benefits you, yes, do it. Do multiple industries as long as they're close to each other, and you can keep them on the same website, because I've got SEO and web design as services on the online marketing website, but the web design website actually brings in more leads for websites now, because it's so focused, and that really helps in if you've read up anything about direct mail. If you were to send, for example, I work with a paving company and a stonemasonry company. If I was to send paving and stonemasonry in the headline, it wouldn't get as much of a conversion as if it was specifically paving, and then I sent a separate direct mailing with the stonemasonry. That's how it works. So you're better to do that with websites if they're completely different industries. And I hope that answers your question. I've went into detail with that. And then the next question was, there was a wee bit more to it, but basically they were asking how to feel confident about putting out your content. So basically how to jump on Facebook Live and feel confident about what you're putting out there, how to write an article, how to make a video and feel confident to put it up. Because the guy was talking about how he's basically learning a new skill. Similar to the first question, if you're at the stage of learning a new skill and you're at that like tipping point of you're not sure if you want to start doing a weekly Facebook Live, just hold back. That's the best advice I received from someone was, if you don't feel like jumping on Facebook Live, if you don't feel ready for jumping on Facebook Live, if you don't feel ready for publishing your content, hold back and build up your confidence and your skills. If you don't think you're good enough, but if you do think you're good enough, I wouldn't let how you feel hold you back as well, because there's lots of advice on that. It depends how you feel about your skills on it. If you really don't think your skills are good enough to start writing and being calling yourself an expert or a guru on that topic, I would say build up your skills, and that will automatically build up your confidence. That's what I would say. I wasn't a confident speaker about a year ago, but now I went to Toastmasters to kind of fix that, because I knew that I had the skills and I've had the results, and I was just wondering why I wasn't doing the videos. And that was probably the point for me is, if it's writing for you, your question was more around that you're wanting to write about personal development and you're wanting to write about the human mind and things, but you're still learning that. Once you get your skills up to scratch and you think you're ready to publish that, if it's the writing that's the problem, then go and get coached by a writer, or just record it on your phone or do a podcast and then get it transcribed by an actual writer, like a ghostwriter or transcriber to publish that or write the content for you. And there's a lot of people, like I heard at that conference I was back in November in London, that you don't need to be a writer to write a book, because you can do everything with voice now and people can transcribe it for you, or there's always been ghostwriters. So I wouldn't let the writing, the skill of your writing hold you back, but maybe I would let your skills of the actual content of what you're putting out hold you back, because there's nothing worse than someone who's not ready to start putting out content that's not the best. Basically, it's best to hold back and build up your confidence in your skills, and then fix any other things that are holding you back, like fear, and go through that, because they're things that you can go through. But there's other things I would recommend maybe not going out before you're ready. So that was the 3 questions I was focusing on today. I'm just going to check if there's any further questions on live just now. So we've got a few viewers on. Has anyone got any questions? Because that's me answered how to build your first 5 clients. Is it better to specialise in a niche, and also how to feel confident about publishing and putting out your content. I'm ready to take some Q&As as well, if anyone's got any. I've also got some, while I wait for the questions to come in, because it's slightly delayed on Facebook Live, I've noticed. So I'm just looking for the questions on the tablet just now. So there was other questions or giveaways and takeaways that I got from the conference in November, and a few people were quite interested in hearing about, well, there was Shah and there was the SEO expert, and I thought I mentioned Lord Sugar as well. So there was a couple of people at the conference asked Lord Sugar some questions just on business. One of the takeaways was that everyone should have a business coach or a mentor to hold you accountable, which I thought was very interesting. That was a takeaway from Lord Sugar. So this is something I can't elaborate on, but I thought I would bring that up because people did ask for that when I had done a poll in Ben's Business Book Club. I'm still waiting for some questions to come on. Hi Sean, have you got any questions for me? And hi Devon, he's got a question here. It says, I'm a business consultant for startups. How best to capitalise off of the success of my clients in a way that improves my own SEO metrics? That's a great question. So kind of back to the first question of how we can build up our first clients and then basically capitalise off of the success of your clients. So that I don't know if you've seen, Devon, the video I done with Richard Moore. I built a website for Richard Moore, done a good job. He was happy with it. I asked him to give me a video testimonial, and I asked most of my customers to give me a testimonial. I've just recently started asking for video testimonials over the last year, and I've seen a massive difference in that. Is, well, one way that can help, you can capitalise on that is, if you can get that video testimonial, that really helps. If you've done a good job for people, most times they're more than happy to give you a video review or testimonial, and then you ask them to send you that video or get the video from the internet if they upload it for you, and upload it to your own YouTube channel. And if, for example, your customer has a big name, a company name, you use their name, when you stick it on YouTube, you can use keywords to rank that high up on YouTube as well. You can use that video in any sales videos you do, for example. So if you do a promotional video for your company, I think a great way to emphasize or improve the selling point of a video, the call to action, just before the call to action is drop in a couple of, or maybe 3 different types of clients you've worked for. They're video testimonials. So gather up all the video testimonials and kind of drip feed them into your social media marketing, and also add them into sales videos. So if you have like 3 different customers, for example, you have a promotional video talking about your services, and then someone says, Devon Scott's marketing or web design service, it's web design you do, isn't it? It's a bunch of different services, similar to myself. You also do search engine optimization. So that's one way to do it, is to get your successful clients talking about you, as well as you talking about yourself. I hope that answers your question. To optimize or to improve your own SEO metrics, again, that's what I would do. Get them to create videos for you. The more content you get, you can use their brand name and some keywords around that industry. So what that will do is it will show your video up in other, for example, with one of my clients, a business coach's keywords. So you'll show up for business coach for that video, and that'll, because that's related to anyone that's searching business coach, most times what I've found is I search a lot for search engine optimization to find my own videos, and I search like online marketing and things. So what happens is people in their own industry search for themselves as well, and they might come across that video with a similar company, and they might ask you if you could do the same for them. So that's one way of doing it, is ranking it for an industry keyword that you're not ranking for yet with all the different clients, so you can rank the videos. So I'm talking more about video optimization there, and if you're doing search engine optimization yourself, you'll know how to do that with a website. It's basically applying that on YouTube as well, and making sure you've got the right title tag on the video, in the description of the video. Make sure it's got some keywords in there, and in the tags as well as that. So I hope that answers your question. If I don't have any more questions, I think I'll just conclude it there, because I'm going to try and keep this one a wee bit shorter than last week's, because it dragged on for almost an hour. So I don't know how long we've been on it here. It's about 25 minutes. Okay, I don't see any other questions coming in, so I hope that helped. If you have any more questions for the next week, get in touch. Join the Facebook group Ben's Business Book Club, and I'll make sure I keep you up to date with the events on there. And we talk a lot about business books, and I do a recommendation of books that I'm reading, and also the community do that as well. So get into the book club. You just have to search Ben's Business Book Club, and you can join that on Facebook. It's a free group to join. There's about 800 members at the moment, and it's been growing all the time. So I hope to see you in there. And if you've got any further questions, I'll answer them in the next week's Facebook Live Q&A. Thank you.